After the Lakers made no major trades at this year's trade deadline, a lot of eyes were pointed to this offseason when LA has 3 additional draft picks to potentially trade away for a star, and multiple reports linked Trae Young as a potential trade candidate to the LA Lakers. Well, Trae Young has now addressed those trade rumors in a recent interview, and some of his comments are fairly interesting. So we'll dive into what he had to say about all of the trade rumors that have recently been coming out regarding Trae Young, whether or not there's a realistic possibility LA could trade for Trae this offseason, and how it sort of affects everything in terms of the Lakers' future plans. But before we dive into that, folks, again, if you want to stay up to date with all of the latest LA Lakers news, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Over 80% of our viewers are not subscribed to the channel right now, so it would mean the world to us if you guys could hit that sub button. But let's dive into the news. Let's dive into what's been going on, because Trae Young, again, has been linked, and we'll discuss some of the reports that have been brought up, but linked to a lot of trade rumors lately after the Atlanta Hawks were dangling DeJounte Murray there at the trade deadline for a very long time. The Lakers were one of those teams that were interested in acquiring DeJounte Murray, but obviously ended up keeping D'Angelo Russell, and that seems like that was the perfect decision by Rob Pelinka and the Lakers front office. But Trae Young is a different story, and if the Hawks go in the direction of keeping DeJounte Murray as their point guard and dealing away Trae, as some recent reports have brought up, then the LA Lakers seem like a team that could potentially swoop in. Well, Trae basically addressed all the reports, all the rumors that we're going to talk about, and I wanted to address his comments first. So basically, in an interview with Taylor Rooks, he was asked, do you believe you'll be on the Atlanta Hawks next season? And he said, kind of, I don't want to say reluctantly, but with a little bit of hesitation and stuff, hopefully. Like when I was drafted here, I envisioned I could have went to Kentucky, I could have went to Kansas, but I chose to be different and went to Oklahoma to try and win a championship. I want to go there to win in my hometown, be different. They'd never won a championship in Atlanta, so me getting drafted there felt like a match made in heaven. This is something that I want to do, defeat the odds here too. For me, my whole vision was to always be here. Like my whole goal was to win here, win championships, bring people here with me and build this championship here, the dynasty here. But who knows? Like it's year 6 now, and who knows? Like for me, I want that. So basically that's a big sort of quote from Trae Young, and a lot of this is a big quote going around Lakers Twitter, Lakers sort of Reddit pages and stuff right now, and that last part is the thing that's getting really taken, ran with by a lot of Lakers pages that, regarding the trade talks, who knows? Like it's year 6 now, who knows? Like for me, I want that. So basically, there's a little bit of hesitation, there's a little bit of questions, because there has been a ton of rumors, which must be tough to see your name sort of get thrown out about. And he also said, in this interview, when asked about the trade rumors, he said, well, some of the best players in NBA history have been traded, so who am I to sort of, have too much of an ego about getting thrown into trade rumors? But it is still annoying. Sure, as a star player, the number 1 option on the Atlanta Hawks, putting up some ridiculous stats when he was healthy for Atlanta, right, to have your name sort of dangled out there in these potential discussions, but he wants to stay in Atlanta, clearly from his voice, but he does seem a little reserved, a little hesitant, knowing that that might not be the case fully. But basically, Brooks ended up going on to say, okay, so just so I can repeat what I'm saying to be clear, for you, these rumors are like, it's not me. You're like, I want to be in Atlanta. And Trae says, yeah. You heard it from the source. Like, I want to win, but that's what you've heard too. Like, I want to win. So that's in Atlanta. That's where I want to be, and that's where I envision myself being. But that's it. So basically, Trae Young himself isn't requesting any trades, isn't demanding out of the Atlanta Hawks, isn't looking for potential destinations, but from the tone of voice, from even just the language that's being used, and again, the who knows sort of situation, for me, I want it to be here, hopefully, right, these not stable language. I mean, if we had a Nikola Jokic bringing up these types of things, star player for the Denver Nuggets, he's not going to be wishy-washy about potential trade rumors or things that are going on. A lot of guys that feel stable in their situation, they wouldn't have dressed that interview a certain way. Again, there's no reports coming out, and there's nothing saying Trae wants out of Atlanta, he's demanding trades, or he wants to be in LA in particular. But the reports that have sort of indicated this, we'll dive into here now. Because basically, immediately after the trade deadline, insider Mark Stein declared that trade watch has commenced. I can tell you this much, they've certainly convinced various rival teams that a DeJounte in, Trae out course could be legitimately considered. So that's from February 12th, again, immediately after the trade deadline. More reports that Trae Young could be dealt in the offseason. The Lakers and the Spurs have been linked. And then there's also talks about how the LA Lakers didn't make a big trade, didn't make a big move, right? Donovan Mitchell, Trae Young, as well as Kyrie Irving are all targets for a third star this summer for the LA Lakers, as the Lakers will have 3 draft picks available to be dealt, come this summer. So that's sort of everything that we've heard regarding the LA Lakers front. Now, Trae Young has addressed those rumors directly, and he's not requesting a trade, but he doesn't seem, in terms of the tone of voice, what is it? 80% of communications nonverbal. It doesn't seem like he sounds assured he'll be with the Atlanta Hawks, even though that's the destination he would like to be. So that's sort of what's going on right now. So given that fact, given everything Trae Young has just said, but alongside all of these reports about the Atlanta Hawks potentially shipping him out, LA being interested in acquiring his services, is there a possibility, is there a world where this trade ends up happening? Well, one, the LA Lakers, it's going to be dependent on whether or not D'Angelo Russell is the player he's been, over the course of this season in the playoffs. Because if we have another disaster class, a major fall off from D'Angelo Russell in the postseason this year, then LA's sort of point guard desires, upgrades at that position, they're going to be ramped up to a whole nother level come this offseason again. So that's one thing. If D'Angelo Russell starts playing well, I'd be very surprised if the LA Lakers give up a ton of future sort of assets to bring in a different point guard and Trae Young and, these types of things. So one, D'Lo has to start really falling off a cliff in terms of the performance he's been providing this entire year if that trade were to go down. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the Atlanta Hawks, again, especially with Trae Young's hand injury right now, they're a mid-level team. This Atlanta Hawks team would have to make that decision that they're going in the direction of DeJounte Murray, maximize his role, and try to get as much value as possible from Trae Young, who is putting up some dumb stats this season. And he's only still 25 years old, averaging 27 points per game, 3 rebounds, 11 assists, shooting 37% from the three-point line, and his shooting, defense has actually improved a lot. That's one thing about Trae Young that I thought has got overlooked a lot this season, is he's playing a much better defense for the Atlanta Hawks here now at this point, but also it's just a knockdown 3-point shooter. And again, his 3-point percentage is only at 37%, but if you look at it, how many of his shots? Only 5% of his shots are from the corners at the 3-point line. He's making 46% of those, and only 33% of his threes are assist upon. So he's creating a lot off the dribble, creating a lot for himself, and those shots are obviously tougher, but they're better to sort of have in your offense, for a guy that's able to create and hit those at a high volume, because you don't need to sort of have elite players around to get those 3-point shooters open. So Trae Young would be an awesome sort of piece. He would be an upgrade over D'Angelo Russell, but again, giving up the assets the Lakers would have to give up to acquire Trae Young, then you have to quantify if he's that much of an upgrade over D'Angelo Russell. The way D'Angelo Russell's been playing lately, I don't think it warrants, 3 firsts, an Austin Reaves, and another piece, and D'Angelo Russell on top of it, to make that deal happen. But if D'Angelo Russell falls off a cliff, Trae Young will be a really nice, I think a really complimentary piece to Anthony Davis for the future of the LA Lakers. I mean, their pick and rolls could be crazy. How AD can sort of pick up the load on the defensive end for a Trae Young, who has been better. He's been a lot better on the defensive end, but I think that could be a really cool fit. I don't know. LA, Trae Young in the purple and gold would be an awesome sight to see, but we're going to see how it all shakes out. It doesn't seem like he's eager to be traded, but the Hawks could be doing something different. So let me know what you guys think about his quotes, his comments regarding all the trade rumors in the comment section down below. You guys are best to make it this far. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. I'm signing out. Cheers.